Yo, come on. The time is for your mind. No time like the presence. And as the room fill up, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let that friend or that neighbor or that foe know where to go when it's time to tune in to Sports Talk and beyond.
Ready? Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
Yeah.
And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
The bearded bros. Come on. They really say ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Ain't no party like a beard brother party. Come on, man. Hey.
Yes,
Beard Bros, man. I forgot to put that in the title, though, by the way. I'll go in and put it in on the back end. You know how it goes, man.
Man, listen here. Some things are self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Some things don't need to be explained. They know what it is.
Yeah. What's understood don't need to be explained. You know, come on with it, man. But while we getting this thing going, before we forget, man, give them one beard tip of the hour, man. Give them one beard tip if you can.
Hey, wash your beards, god dog. You know, not a beard as much as I do. Hey, man, wash your beards, man. Listen here, man. You better not still have Valentine's Day chocolate in your beard, man. You look, wash your beard, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Make sure.
Wait a minute.
Your beard. Look.
That ain't no flavor saver there, dog. Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, you're right.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wash it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wash the beard, man. Wash it.
Daily. Every
wash
night
it daily,
you hop
man.
in there, that's part of having the beard, the maintenance of it, which is the cleaning. You know, you got to wash it, man. So, especially me, you know what I mean? I catch everything with this thing, so I have to wash it every night. But it becomes part of the routine, just like anything else, you know what I mean? So, it is what it is. So, I have no problem with washing. It becomes kind of like, the more you do something, the more efficient you become at it. So, now it doesn't take as long as it once did when it comes to washing my beard, man. So, hey, wash your beard. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. So, man, hey, y'all take that tip and y'all do whatever you want to do with it, man. Because at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to do with it.
If you mean.
If you mean. But, all right, so with that being said, man, appreciate you, Tony, man. Thank you so much, man. The Bearded Bros, appreciate you. And, shout out to everybody that's on the Instagram, too. I see y'all over there. We are live. Emmett Thomas, appreciate you. Tone, appreciate you. Thank you. Ray Bans, appreciate you. My guy Ray, man. Shout out to him for being part of this as well. And DJ, man. That's my DJ. Go, DJ. Oh. So, right to it, bro. What's your thoughts on the money side? Because I was talking about this earlier today with you, and you guys are blessed because you're only paying your quarterback $1 million. But then you turned around and said that, hey, by the time he's due, he's going to be worth about 60 APY and all of this stuff. Talk to me about your money situation, bro.
Hey, man, so we built our team a little bit different from most individuals that we've seen as of late. You know, we built it from the exterior, and then the last piece to get taken care of was the QB. Usually, you know, franchises go out there. Number one pick is what, bro? If you're a new head coach, what do you want? You want to have the first round draft pick to go pick the quarterback of your desires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily go that route. You know, we built around as far as the skill position. We focused on the defensive linemen, the linebackers. Then we started focusing on skill positions, and we kind of left the quarterback, you know, kind of up in the air. But speaking of money, you know that we gave Jimmy Garoppolo one of the biggest deals ever initially.
Ever, yeah.
5-year, $127 million. I believe it was like $27 million annually. That's chump change right now. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy how everybody thought that was a really big deal back in the day. But now we realize it's not as what we thought it was. So, man.
Right.
Now, so our situation now, man, as far as money wise, is we spent all our money on our skill position, and thank God we got the million in the quarterback, you know. So we got to really think about some things this offseason because we've been paying guys big money since 2019.
Yeah, since 2019. You guys been look. You just don't have the quarterback bullet. You still got the bullet. You got Bosa that you're paying big coins to. You got Trent Williams, who's getting almost close to quarterback money, by the way, that you got to make sure that you continue to pay him and figure out ways to continue to build around that. And excuse me, you have CMC that you're paying big money to, Kittles as well as Debo, and Ayuk is like knocking on the door with his bag of payday. So I always say this, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are out there looking, you always got to pay somebody. You can't just go in this league. Everybody got the same cap space or cap
for sure,
cap payment that you got to pay, and it's how you pay your team and get in front of it and spread it out and manipulate the cap in order for you to get out of the thick weeds of things, man. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
And also, this is me. Like, organizations got to have good organizational practices as well.
Right.
And this is when the restructuring of a contract happening. It cannot happen without the player consent. You know what I mean? And so when you have the proper players who don't mind maneuvering the money, how you said, this is how one of the ways they manipulate the cap. You know,
right.
When you have a good GM can sit there and look, well, not the GM per se, but you know, the guy behind the scenes who's running the financials. You know how to say, our guy name is Par Marate, man. He's a hard taskmaster. But what he does is he knows the numbers. You know what I mean? And he talks about, hey, man, I'm going to need you to restructure, you know? And because the culture is pretty good, the team is on the cusp of winning, you have more guys who are more prone to say, you know what, I'll adjust to see can we get up to the mountaintop and finally get over it. And so that was helped when you have a good organization and, you know, you can get helped out a little bit if you do things the proper way.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Appreciate you on that aspect of it. So what's been bottling around here as far as finna blow open will be the Cowboys end of it. We got a guy that going to take a $60 million pay hit, cap hit, you know what I'm saying, for the team. You know what I'm saying? Not for the team in a good way, but against the team, because his name is Rain Dakota Prescott. So either you can play this out and say to yourself, I'm cool with, you know, taking the $60 million cap hit, which you can't take because you got to stretch some things out, or you got to pay the man and figure out ways to slide up under there and find other ways where you can add more and more people to this particular team. What's your thoughts on paying a guy who's pretty much, you know, like my quarterback, who's 2-5 in the playoffs, man? It's my quarterback, man. What's your thoughts on that, man? Because y'all put us out 2 years in a row, and now Green Bay put us out. So, God dog, man. So what's your thoughts on Rain Dakota Prescott, man, on his money?
I mean, I think this comes to the point in time you got to ask some real questions, some hard questions. You know how they say you got to have those hard conversations. You got to close the door, lock the door. You know what I mean? Say, okay, what's around him, and what do we want around him? Like, when we really begin to think about the players that need to be paid, if we play these players, what do we look like? Like, we have an honest conversation, look in the mirror. If we do pay him this amount of money, and we do pay Michael Parsons, so I'm going to throw that in there too, because if you pay him, you got to pay Michael, right? I mean, that's... Yeah.
Well, technically, you know.
Well, Michael go want some money now, I believe. Well, hold on. Nick Bosa came in 2019. He came in 2021. Okay, well, you got another year then.
We got a little ways to go, man.
Never mind. You got another year, but you better pay him now if you could then, because you wait next year, and it'll be even more. But anyway, you look at the financial situation, say, if I pay him 60, is there enough money going around to pay other guys? Who do you have up for a big payday coming up? Because I know you guys draft very well. You don't necessarily go out there and get free agents to come in. And so... Say less.
I got this, you know, not everybody got this right here. I had to go get the premium stuff, man. But they got the roster cap figures here, and I think I would share this with everybody. So you said who we got up? $59.4 million for Dak Prescott for the 2024. That's his cap hit. I think the 5.3 is for Trey Lance, which pretty much I think that you guys owe that on the books, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you got me on at 5. You got me on Trey Lance, dog.
I got
Yeah,
you, my job.
yeah. But Cooper Rush is 2.8, and we don't got nobody to get us on that, and that's a high price tag. Okay, but if you look at it here, Malik Davis, he's our only running back that's pretty much the veteran running back. We got Deuce Vaughn, we got Snoop in them, Snoop Connor. I meant to say. I like his skill sets. I need to do a film review so I can show everybody what Snoop can do for us. And we got him all the way up until 2026. And he's a guy that everybody need to pay close attention to. Tony Pollard, Rico, he's out the woodsheds here. And then you have Hunter Lupke. He's another guy. And then if you stroll all the way down, we got CeeDee Lamb. They did the same thing that y'all did with Brandon Ayuk with the 5th-year option. Ours a little bit higher, though. Yours is like right at 14 million, something like that. CD is like at 17.9. You might as well round that up to 18 million.
18.
Michael Gallup. Oh, my goodness. 13 and a half, man. Might as well 14. Might as well round this up. We're going to round it up 14. Brandon Cooks. And what you see here is we paying a lot of money for these wide receivers, right? And and we all arguing saying that, hey, we need more wide receivers over here in Cowboys land. Then you got Luke Schoonmaker. He's getting paid more than Jake Ferguson, right? So that is a situation there. If you look at Zach Martin, he's 28. And then we're going to have to figure out a way to restructure him. His contract don't falls into 2025. So this is the tail end of his contract. Of course, Terrence Steele, he got a long way to go before his contract expire. Tyler Smith, he won't be due until 2026-ish. And then you got, well, let's go. So our biggest thing is we got D-Law. We got to figure out what to do with him at the tail end of his contract. Mozzie, he's a rookie, of course. Well, he's going into his second year now. He's getting paid $3 million more than a third of all our players on the defensive line. So that's just how it goes. And then you have Parsons, who's $5 million. So when you ask where our bulk of our money is at, it's in secondary as far as the defense, and one area with Trayvon Diggs, Donovan. Yeah, and tight end. Well, tight end, we got a weak spot right there.
Tight end, but wide receiver,
Wide receiver, yeah. So that's how that looks from here. And then let me pull yours up, man. I forgot to do your team, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at
What'd you say?
I'm just looking at how y'all money is spent.
Man, just follow the money, man. Follow the money. Where 49ers at, man? What is this? San Fran?
It should be at the top.
You know, that's right at the bottom. He's right. That's how I caught that. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at how your team is structured, you got only $1 million that you paying. $1 million. Brock Purdy. You have to pay Brock Purdy to 2026, dog, and 2027. So you come out on top of that. Sam Darnold and Brandon Allen, you're gonna have to figure out ways to work that contract. Oh, y'all gonna work it, or y'all gonna draft?
You gotta let them go, man. Draft.
You gonna frozen them boys, huh?
Hey, because Sam Darnold go want too much money. Brandon Allen is an older gentleman. We can sit here and say, hey, man, you stay around. Let's draft the guy. Brock Purdy has enough experience now where you don't necessarily need, somebody who's a veteran behind him. You just begin to groom somebody just in case, you know what I mean?
Cooper Rush make more money than Brock Purdy, man. Ain't that crazy?
Boy, everybody on your offensive line make more money than him.
Yeah. Man, I make out of play. I ain't making that. Hey, man. You got Christian McCaffrey over here with 14. Elijah. Jordan Mason, man. So Christian McCaffrey, you don't have to worry about him in 2026, but you got 2 back-to-back big years of 14. And then if you look at Kyle Juszczyk, you paying $7 million to him.
We're going to have to do something, you know what I mean? Because
what are you going to do?
Let's be honest, most fullbacks aren't getting paid $7 million. For a team that don't have a lot of money in their quarterback to have pretty much $21 million pretty much.
It's luxury.
Running back.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a luxury. I mean, that's just money that you probably got to have a tough conversation about, because as these guys' contracts are coming up, and you finna scroll down, you about to see Deebo Samuel's finna make $28 million this year.
I see him pull my Sharpie out, man. You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah, 28 and then 24. Yeah.
Okay, so you talk about let's see, Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Juszczyk, that's right there, 21. Then you got 28 by Deebo, then 14. I think you guys had 18, 14, and 10, right, in your wide receiver room?
Yeah, 18. No, 18. Yeah, 18, 14. Might as well. might as well say what CD, not CD, but Michael Gallup making Brandon Ayuk money. Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all got about almost like $38 million in your
And then we have Brandon Cooks who getting 10. So yeah.
Yeah. So you got around, like you say, 30, 35,
Yeah.
35 to $38 million in your wide receiver room. So that's a lot of money. Where we have pretty much, again, the same amount in our wide receiver room too, pretty much. Maybe just a little bit more with Brandon Ayuk, as you see there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, but our running back room is a lot more expensive than you guys with the 21 million. But again, your quarterback got 60, so your quarterback is 3 times as much as our wide receiver room. So with that extra $30 million, we can this is where as you scroll down,
But look at Kittles though.
$21 million a year. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, Kittles getting paid.
He about to get that moolah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, good lord. So yeah, that's a lot of money, man. 21 million.
21, can you do something for me? You know, it's crazy because I was talking to you earlier.
Uh-huh.
No. We're going to touch on that, but let me go ahead and knock this out on the defensive side, what y'all doing. Well, the offense. Of course, Trent, he's the only guy that's on your offensive line getting paid, dog. And y'all got a long way to go with him, man. 31, 34, and 37. And he's already a long tooth, bro. That's a long tooth, man.
Yeah, he 30-something minutes, you know. I mean, he 30 what? He like 36, I believe.
Yeah.
He up there, you know.
He up there, man. That's a long tooth. Don't give him an apple, dog. That tooth coming up out of there. So, you know, it's one of those things. It's like Trent Williams, but you guys are getting away with a lot of these guys because I believe scheme plays a role, bro. Scheme plays a role, man. Because even if you guys paying the low end for these guys, they produce.
Until you have to play against some real talent.
Until you guys, wait a minute, what are you trying to say?
No, I'm just trying to say when you play against some real talent, got dog, situation change. Who be in trouble?
Situation will arise.
Oh God!
Oh my goodness!
Scoot on down though, bro.
Scoot on down. Okay, I'll scoot on. Like this is where your money at, though. This is where y'all money.
This is where our money is, man. So you talking to? I mean, look at that, guys. That's $30 million between Hargrave and Nick Bosa right now, plus $30 million in Eric Armstead. So you pretty much looking at $60 million on our defensive line.
Well, you got a window because you won't feel Bosa hit until like 2026.
But that
you know what I'm saying? Because
that don't matter when you got Eric Armstead making $28 million a year, though, bro. That's a lot. That's hell of a lot. That's top 5. He getting paid $1 million less than Chris Jones.
True. And what's his production been like?
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's not producing like a top 5 defensive tackle. Let's be honest. That's top 5 defensive tackle money, bro. $28 million, man.
Let me see what he been doing. He 32, a long tooth. He had 5 sacks this season, this past season. Got what he was hurt or something. He didn't do much in 2022.
Exactly. Yeah, he was
6
hurt.
and 3. Yeah.
So he had plantar fasciitis, and then also he suffered a meniscus tear in his knee. You know, and he's 6'7", 200 some odd pounds. So you got to realize that's, $28 million this year. You're looking at in another year $14 million. So that's a lot of money, for a person who he's really good against the run, but at the same time. $30 million, especially when you have Javon Hargrave. It's like you have to be producing.
But you know what?
Level, man.
That's why I've been eyeballing because I was looking at it from this aspect: who I can pick from the Niners over here on my Cowboys. And one of the guys, and I'm gonna ask you because I haven't even really talked to you like that. And his name is Javon Kinlaw because he had 3.5 sacks. I think that he was like a hurt guy, and he was drafted early, and he was considered the guy to give you what Armstead or Hargraves was going to do. And I'm looking at it, you see Todd France. Hey, shout out to Todd France. He's still in the house or what have you. And I'm looking at his market value, bro, and it's right at 5.4. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. He could be one of those guys that can catch fire down the stretch because it takes a couple of years for defensive tackles to get ready.
Uh-huh.
So he had 3.5 sacks this season, 25 tackles, 13 solos from an interior guy. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. So Can you help
I'm gonna tell you
can you
something.
help a brother
I'm gonna
out
tell
now?
you.
HBO me, man. Talk to me about him. Talk to me
So
about
I'm gonna
Ken
let you
Law.
know. So he came in during a COVID season. You know what I'm saying with
Yeah.
2020. So as a defensive tackle coming in during that time period, he lived in South Carolina. He's a country boy. Just know that
Yeah.
he went from being living in the country to going all the way out there to where to Santa Clara
Santa Clara.
doing what? Doing COVID-19. And so his first year was kind of sporadic because he didn't have any OTAs. He didn't have the opportunity to get in there during training camp as well, for real, because of all the things that was changing up. And so for a big guy like him, he needed time on task. He needed to be able to go in there and really begin to work on his technique. But
Right.
unfortunately, he had a knee injury that he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't necessarily get taken care of. So he
Right.
spent his first couple years injured, and he hurt his knee against the Cowboys. Actually, playing against you guys, he broke part of his kneecap or something like that. Or
Dang.
he hurt his knee. I don't think he hurt his knee or something. I don't want to say he broke his kneecap, but he did hurt a knee that was already previously injured. And so
Mm-hmm.
he continuously tried to play, but then it wasn't until at the end of last year he went on and got surgery. So this was his first full off season not having to rehabilitate. And then he actually played the whole year. And as the 49ers fans saw that, hey man, he got progressively better for as a big person like him. Y'all look at him. He's 6'7", I believe, 6'6", 6'7",
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
300 pounds.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
look at him, he's built. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked like a defensive tackle. He one of them people say if you hop off the bus, if you see him and DeMarcus Lawrence get off the bus, you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. At the
okay,
same time.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same time, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So his biggest issue was because he had lower extremity injuries, he couldn't stay low. So with a big man like that, you got to stay low, and he had a high pad level. But as the year progressed and his body became kind of more mature into a defensive tackle position, he got better throughout the season. He became one of our better players in the second half of the season. So we did pick up his 5th year option. I do
Rightfully so, because you
believe
didn't want to pay that. But keep going. Mm-hmm.
we didn't want to pay that money, but at the same time, he finally started to show some of the flashes that we thought we was going to get him when we first drafted him. So if anybody go look at Javon Kinlaw, they look at his first 3 years, his tape with first 4 years, they're like, iffy. But then they look at this year, he's healthy, he had a consistent role, and then you saw he progressively got better. And so if anybody is looking for a good guy to go out there and play hard, who has something to play for, he's a real country dude. He go out there and
First
he
round
shoots
talent.
drills.
First round
Yeah, first
talent.
round
Yeah.
talent,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
nasty too. He about his business. He don't do nothing foolishness off the off
Phil.
the
Yeah.
field as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. So I think a team would go and pick him up this year and be happy at what was taught to him. And he was an understudy of Eric Armstead, who was a multi-time Walter Payton of the Man of the Year award winner. So he was groomed under good tutelage by Eric Armstead. So any team that's out there looking for a defensive tackle, taking a miniature risk on somebody, I think Javon Kinlaw will do pretty well in his next 2 to 3 years coming from the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, man, that's a powerful endorsement by you, man. I was sitting there looking at your portfolio here, and basically, you got too many free agents, and you got too many people that's already getting paid. so, it's $5.4 million right now. It's going to be seem like too much money when you got all of this stuff that you got to move around with. So I appreciate you for developing him and getting him ready. But he need to
Oh
come
yeah.
on over here to the Cowboys, and we'll take real good care of him because he'll be a great part or a great piece for my boys to help stop the run and to match up with Mozzie and just be crazy for the interior play, because you see him more of a 3 tech that can give you some 1 tech skill sets.
Yeah, pretty much like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's definitely a 3 technique guy. I do believe that with time, he's gotten better against the run. You know what I'm saying? He's his running, like that's where he comes in play at. He's a good
Yeah.
against the run. Every now and again he does, like I said, most D tackles don't get pressure on the quarterback, as you mentioned his 3.5 sacks, this year.
Mm-hmm.
But he's nasty, man. That's the most important part you got to know. He's nasty.
Nasty, man.
And you
That
need
mean
somebody
streak.
who nasty and command a double team, and that's what he does. So I truly believe that this guy can excel as he continues. Like you say, he's matured into the position, and he just needed his body to get healthy, man. And he was under great tutelage with Chris Kaser. And so, if you guys do not know this, there's been multiple guys leave our team in the last 3 years that have been starters for perennial playoff teams. So
Right.
Charles Omenihu went to the Kansas City
Kansas City
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah.
Man, he was killing. You know what I'm saying? He was doing a wonderful job until he got hurt at the end of the year, man. But he was producing, starting. We had a guy also go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. His name slipped my mind, but he was producing. He was doing very well.
No. Talk about the kid that went to the Tennessee, that linebacker.
Now Al Shazier is actually a free agent, man. Now
that's a dude. That's a dude that my Cowboys need to get. That's a tackling machine right there, man.
167 tackles for those who do not know. First year linebacker playing the Mike position for the first time as well. He used to play he was playing the sound position for 49ers from time to time. But his first year as a Mike had 167 tackles, man. And he produced heavily for the Tennessee Titans, but he's a free agent this year. So I think he'll be a wonderful guy that somebody needs to think about getting, you know what I'm saying? Because he is a tackling machine. That's all y'all need to know. Sideline to sideline, he go get that.
No doubt, man. I got a super chat from Brandy, always supporting the channel no matter what time. We could have went live at 3 o'clock in the morning, man. You know, she would have been here, and we really appreciate you, Brandy. She says you can't pay everybody. And that is the number one truth. You can't pay everybody. So I think that this sport, you got to learn how to wheel and deal. And speaking of that, we got some guys that you probably heard from. But let's play this audio right quick.
List. All these guys, for the most part, are unrestricted. Randy Gregory, gone. Chase Young, gone. Sam Darnold, $4.5 million. I think he'll be moving on. Kinlaw at $3.8 million. He'll probably be moving on. Tayshaun Gibson at $2.9. He'll be moving on. Sebastian Joseph Day at $2.7. He'll be gone. Warren Burks at $2.5. He'll be gone. Cleveland Farrell at $2.5. He might return. John Feliciano at $2.25. He'll probably be gone. Kevin Givens at $2.1 will be gone. Ray at $2 million will be gone. They also have Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, Ross Dwelly, Brandon Allen, Day, Conley, Logan Ryan, Matt Pryor, Juwan Jennings probably leaves, Ben Barch, Charlie Warner, Terrence Mitchell.
See, I would figure out a way to bring Juwan Jennings back and trade Debo.
Now, if you want to move Ayuk, you could probably get a first-round pick for Ayuk. You want to move Ayuk?
No, I'm bringing Ayuk back.
Come on, man. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Hey, he live in California, man.
Oh, he live in Cali, man. That's how y'all feel about old boy.
He on that good stuff, boy. He on that good ganja, man. Hey, man, listen here, man.
Hey, he been using Rose, man. Rose Shop. You need to tell him to use promo code LAW.
ASAP, man. You know
Smoke weed every day.
He on something, but man, for those who don't know, man, we just signed Debo to a deal 2 years ago.
Right.
Dead cap is ridiculous, man.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. I think you got to really be on one to go out there and try to sign. I mean, he's the wrong person to try to trade right now, man. He'll just be coming to his money this year, man, and you ain't trying to make that type of move. So
let me see where is that Debo.
But
oh yeah.
Give me 1 second, bro, real fast. I'll be right back.
No doubt.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so why he do that, he gonna be back. All right, so yeah, man. What Debo money at, man? Debo money is, he just getting into the thick of it. And then he got to go with 24 dead cap. Wait a minute, I don't see no. He must got all of his guaranteed, twin. You might be off for a little bit. That dude might be on to something, though. But now that's still $17 million. No, it's still 15. 15, yeah, and then you have 8. So when you trade, you can absolutely move around with that. But neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. When my brother get back, there'll be something that we will get back on to right here. But, you know, what you trade him, you will have to get something back in return that someone is trying to give you what Kansas City Chiefs got for Tyreek Hill. What did the Kansas City Chiefs get for Tyreek Hill, y'all? Put that in the chat for me. You know, what did they get for him? Because it will be something around that way where you get a team that's desperate enough, looking for a change and looking for a guy with his mindset and kind of caliber, and maybe they give you 2 or 3 first-round picks or a first and a third or something like that, and then also take on that contract. That would be something, you just never know. Maybe Carolina will be talking about, all right, cool, traded Amari Cooper for a bag of Fritos. Oh my goodness, Seabass, you ain't lying though. It still hurt, man. That Amari Cooper thing still hurt, man. Because what we were saying here in Dallas land, you literally had the money. You literally had the money, and his name is, what the Cowboys did, and I'm not beating up Michael Gallup, but what they did is they attached their wagon to Michael Gallup, opposed to Amari Cooper. We could have literally, and I'm not, crying over spilled milk or what have you, but we could have literally went into a season, these last 2 seasons, with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Can you imagine Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and still drafting a Jalen Tolbert? Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and still having a Cavante Turpin on his team. Oh my goodness, man. Oh, that's water on the bridge now, though, y'all. It hurts, man. It hurts. But and then he was willing, because Amari Cooper is in town this week. He's in town for this whole week. He could have would have been willing to take discounts on his money too, because he took $6 or $7 million less to stay here, because he could have went to the Washington team. That's dedication. But neither here nor there. I got Perry Locke with the answers to the test here. He says they got a 2022 second and a second and a third, and 2023's fifth and a sixth for Tyreek Hill. No first round pick? You would think Tyreek Hill would have been a first, though, in one of those selections there. If that's the case, then, Miami kind of won off of that one. Did they? Oh, okay, you meant a first. Okay. So they got a first, a second, and a third. Okay, all right. Hey, Amari, CD, and Brandon would have been undefeated. It would have been hard to justify that you need Brandon Cooks at the time. But, yeah, I look at it like this. But I would say this, you guys, that when you look at the fullness of everything, the money window, this is what we're going to talk about, the window of opportunity and time for the Cowboys. I say the window, believe it or not, and I know somebody said, Law is talking about windows. Dog, you need to talk about, can y'all win in the first round of the playoffs, man? Playoffs, that's what we need to be talking about. Ain't this right, Twin? You back on it, man.
Sure, man. Yeah,
I was talking about the window. I didn't want to put, because it's like a curse if I put SB window in there, so I put window of money. Because I for damn sure can't be talking about Super Bowl window. Because it's been a long time, man. Shoot, but
been a long time.
Tupac was alive. You know what I'm saying?
Go beat step two.
Tupac and Biggie was still around. But what I wanted to talk about was this right here, bro.
What's up?
Is that technically, my Cowboys can stretch this window out even more. It may seem as if though it's damn near impossible. But we were talking about earlier, too, how you can put the money on a larger contract, like a 4 or 5 or 6 year deal. And that way you can manipulate the cap, because the name of the game is not the APY, it's the actual cap hit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's the cap hit, like how much hit from the cap is going to take you down.
You want that year, during that particular year.
Yeah, it's kind of like. It's kind of like this. You get a house and you got a 30-year mortgage, but you want to pay it off early, so you throw that extra payment in, right? But you go with the 30-year, juxtaposed to going with a 15-year deal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're doing, but
you see what I'm saying?
Like so with your boy, a lot of time we do these long deals as well. You can continue to push money back.
Right.
Like, people don't understand that part too. When you do sign some of these bigger guys who you know they will be on the team for a while. Right. Somebody like Dak, who like, he know Jared Jones taking care of him on the back end as well. So, he'll get some money up front, but, there's some other money going on, that we might not know about. Even though he can sign a big deal, he can begin to restructure certain things to kind of help you guys out. And so, my thing is when I asked you earlier, where do you want this other money to be allocated towards though? Like what place that you feel if I put money here, we will be a team that can get over the hump and can be able to go out there and contend for a championship? That's the question I need to ask.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
well, here's the deal. Everybody wanted Pat Mahomes, right? Everybody wanted Pat Mahomes, but you got to also be willing to do a deal like Pat Mahomes, right? You got to look at said talent and say, okay, I trust this talent. Pat Mahomes' deal don't finalize until the year 2033. You know what I'm saying? By that time, Chat GPT will be in human form. You know what I'm saying? The aliens will be able to have their green cars walking around here. And I ain't talking about the ones that live out of the country. I'm talking about the ones that live out of space. You know, so they be here by year 2033. You know what I'm saying? You know, people can identify themselves as whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? He, she, them, they, whatever. You know, others. You know, so that's just how it gonna be by the year 2033. And that's how far his contract goes. So what he does every year, bro, is he always restructure. They push that money back. But guess what else grows as he do that?
The salary cap.
It's like a cheat code, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, the credit card people say, hey, twin, you owe us about $10,000. But we also going to increase your credit limit to $40,000. You still like, okay, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna waive the other charges that you paid because of this X, Y, and Z stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get it. You got to have that, but the Cowboys don't have that ultimate trust with Dak Prescott. Granted. Half of the fan base don't either, which rightfully so, by the way. You know, yeah, that's just how it goes.
So I mean, so again, that's another bigger question. If I invest on this plot of land, do I believe my return, my investment would be a ring? You know what I'm saying? Because if I do invest here, I can't move nowhere else. I cannot get back off this. I did this once in 2019, and I'm here today, right?
Right.
So now we have to revisit the situation and say, okay, given the same amount of time, am I going to have different results?
Well,
but with more money, you know what I'm saying? That's what the people are going to ask you. Like, hey, all right, we did this once. We gave him his money. It was a little late, but we gave it to him.
Yeah, a little late. But you burned through it because what happened was when you did it that way, you franchise tag. I mean, you know how you get that peanut butter? In that Jiffy, you can spread that peanut butter out. You know, when it's that name brand peanut butter, you can spread it out. But when it's that government peanut butter, they gave that man the government peanut butter, that thick block of peanut butter. It'll bend that doggone. It'll tear that bread in half. That's the peanut butter they gave Dak. They said, all right, we gave you peanut butter. It's the government kind, man. The only thing that peanut butter is good for is making peanut butter cookies, man. They don't know about that, bro. They don't know. People in here, they ain't struggle hard enough to understand about that peanut butter cookies, man.
That'd be some good old peanut butter cookies too, boy. I'm talking about
shoot, yeah. Excellent, you know man. Yeah. It make your beard grow.
look, dark tan on the brim of the cookies. You know what I'm saying? It's real good.
Yeah. Look, Raymond said they good too. Yeah. See, me and Raymond, we struggled before. These people over here, they never struggled before. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, and also, y'all, we had to eat them cookies and drink some real milk too. We ain't have none of this oat milk. None of this the
rice milk
or rice milk.
Yeah, wheat, cow juice. I'm about to say the other word, but yeah. The red cap, dog. Give me the red cap, dog.
Hey, the red cap don't stop nothing. I know that much, boy. The red cap actually green cap. The red cap will flow straight through you like Drano, boy. But that's another story.
Yeah, indeed. And get a little older, man. Let me get the hat. Let me get the blue cap. Let me get the blue cap, man. Yes, indeed, boy. But that's what they did, bro. But so when they did that, you couldn't spread and prorate that money. And then when they finally got him, just like what we said, just like with Bosa, the bulk of his money, like you didn't have to get a big cap hit. You had a relief for this year. You can have a relief for next year. and you have relief for the third year. But when that fourth year hit, bro,
Yeah.
you better figure out a plan because it's finna hit $42 million.
But now, even though we're talking about these things, the most important thing is this though.
Mm-hmm.
Can you win?
True.
Like, and generally speaking, whether it's the 49ers, the Cowboys, even we maneuver these things, do we believe we have the talent, the experience, and the ability to overcome right now? And that's the biggest question a lot of teams have to ask. Okay, we're thinking about all these things financially. Let's do A, let's do B. We're moving things around. We're taking care of players and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, listen here. We got to find a way to win. And I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of teams. Like, man, we do all this finagling trying to get this money right. But then once we get the money right, do we feel like we have a squad when we can sit back and be honest and say, man, we made these moves and I think we can win a championship with this situation that we got going on right now. And so how do you guys feel about that? You take care of him, you know what I'm saying, early on. But do you feel like, with that being said,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like that has to be part of the equation, because at the end of the day, you still want to have a team that can go out there and be victorious with all these other teams that are making moves or already have that experience that other teams are trying to gain.
Dang, boy, you on the money with that. But can you win if you do that? I mean, that's the whole point. Damn, you're right. But can you win? I would say yeah. And I'm not finna say.
And I'll say this, because I have to unfortunately bear the brunt of bad news for my team and what we go through. Winning is hard, man. And even though a lot of teams haven't been able to go through the different levels,
Right.
and we've lost. And even if another team go to the NFC Championship game, that's a big step from the divisional right. You see what I'm saying? And then to go from the NFC Championship, you got to win that game. Then you got to go to the Super Bowl. So, like, this is multi-layered. What a lot of teams aren't necessarily thinking about is like, bro, once we get to a certain step, man, the pressure changes. The minor detail are definitely enhanced. The media is definitely enhanced. The god doggone pressure is turned all the way up. And so it's like, okay, I've seen my team at this level do this, but what do they look like at this level? Then I gotta say, what do they look like when we go up another level? Do we have the things in the interior to get this thing taken care of and get the job done? And so that's the one of the things that I found that was very difficult as you look through a team being like successful and still coming up short. It's
And you
so
said
much
coming up
other
short.
stuff. Yeah, it's still
We can
coming
look.
up short.
All right, so look at these since 2016. What do these teams have in common? You see, Tom Brady in 16, New England Patriots, they won. Eagles, they won with Nick Foles. And we all know that Nick Foles wasn't probably the reason ultimately why they won, right? But he won one. And then you have Tom Brady again. And then you have Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Stafford, Pat Mahomes, right? So what did those teams do? Outside of course, you have Tom Brady. Of course, you have Pat Mahomes. Can you shake trees and find another Pat Mahomes? Is there another Tom Brady out there? Are these the only reason why that they won? Because we can all argue that every last one of them teams got what? And it started with a D when they won it.
You talking about defense?
Shoot, yeah.
That first championship from Patrick Mahomes, he didn't have no defense.
Which one?
I mean, the
20...
defense was they won and beat us. The 49ers. 2019.
You guys, I mean, I remember you. That was what, 2019, right?
Yeah.
I remember you saying if you had Dak Prescott that year, y'all would have won it, god dog.
Yeah, we need to score more points.
Yeah.
But our offense was definitely boxed in and limited though. Like we had somebody who, I mean, he had the game where he only threw the ball ran through the ball 8 times. And so what I'm saying is this, bro.
Hold on before you say that though. I think that the running back in 2019 was robbed. It should have been him who won that MVP, but that's a whole nother story. I'm talking about the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
because he didn't. They ran the ball all over y'all. But keep going.
They ran the ball and they passed out the backfield. So again, even if I take what you're saying, having a good defense or a great defense, you still have to have a disciplined quarterback to
True.
know how to, at the end of the day, he gave the ball to the guy who was the running back, and he had multiple running backs that was able to produce as far as catching the ball out of the backfield and run the ball hard. And then they had a quarterback in a very young Patrick Mahomes that on third down early on that game, every third down that he used his legs and got first downs. And so even though the defense was decent, the quarterback legs in the most pressurized situation kept them guys in the game, because offensively they didn't look that good as far as his passing numbers, passing rate, and stuff like that.
Right. He
And
didn't
then
do.
also
He didn't
you
do
had to
good numbers.
realize under the pressure, you got to be disciplined. And that's what I tell people these teams have had. They had the ability to do the small things very well. They went to a bread and butter play, and that they kept with it consistently. And then also you had coaches make difficult decisions when on money downs, where they had a bread and butter play once again in the red zone to go out there and score it in the back end of the game, as far as the third and fourth quarter. And so those are some similar characteristics between the Matthew Stafford, what he did, Patrick Mahomes, what he did last year in Super Bowl. He had that big surge in the second half, moving, scoring points. This year, Patrick Mahomes, once again, slow first half.
Right.
And like I'm just saying, like, these are the things that in those tight pressure situations, do we have the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator make those subtle adjustments against 9 out of 10? After all this that we do, as far as looking at the team that we have and the defense that we may have or what we may not have, and you still got to go over there and play number 15.
You still got to play 15, and then you can't.
No,
and you know what? And you know what's gonna happen too, bro. You can't leave time on the clock. And you got to know the rules, man. You got to know the rules. You can't just leave time on the clock. But yeah, and I get it. I absolutely get it, man. All of these guys who, outside of the Eagles, maybe in that 17, have like phenomenal coaching at this point, right? And I'm not taking away from what the Eagles did, but what I can say is with Doug Peterson, he was a
risk taker.
He was a risk taker, you know, with the Philly special, what have you. But he's also, guess what? A tree is known by the fruit it bears. He's also an Andy Reid disciple. So it was literally Andy Reid's system out there, basically, when you really think of it. And you see nothing but Kansas City Chiefs name on here. You know what I'm saying? The tree that fall, like, you know, that fruit that fall, it didn't fall that far from the tree. So I say that even Doug Peterson, and we'll see what he's going to look like. This will be his second year with the Jaguars or what have you, third year. They may make some noise, man. They made a few noise this past season, but we'll see what they do down the stretch there. But outside of that, yeah, you're right with that. You know, you still got to play. You still got to have a quarterback, and you got to have trust within the confines of that quarterback. Yeah. But that would be crazy though. If the Eagles didn't win that Super Bowl, it would have been Tom Brady. that would have been like crazy, man. Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and again, that's the boss. That's Bowser, or that's Bison, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these are the guys that you got to worry about at the end of the day, man. And so, like, I love that we do have to do so much. This is how hard it is to win in the National Football League. This is why I believe coaching is so important. Like, bro, it's not what you do. And I know I give y'all flack, you know what I mean? Because when y'all play against sorry teams, you beat the hell out of what you're supposed to do. But, man, it's the small, minor details that you get away with being less than, you know, these weak opponents.
Right.
Then when you go up to the higher echelons, man, that's when they come back to bite you in your butt, man. And so you got to have a system in play to make sure that you are button up those issues. And then you got to have players with the experience to know that there's a heightened sense of like value of your time playing against these other teams, man, that we don't necessarily think about and talk about as far as the mental part of the game that a lot of these guys got to go through, man. And so, man, it's
Hey,
rough out there, man.
break this down for me, man, because I got this guy. You know, he's a good friend, and he's a good follower of the channel. Although he's a troll or what have you, and I respect trolls because they pay their way too, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
break this down to him. Break this down to him for me, man, because he says, "Law and all honestly, with respect, with all due respect, you know what I'm saying? What's the point of bragging about 12-5 if you get beat by the Packers, a team that went 9-8 when it matters in the playoffs?" Now, I don't think that I brag about the 12-5, but break it down from your perspective, because you from the outside looking in, bro. And you know me before the beard and everything. So break that down of who Law Nation is, bro. But break it down from your perspective.
Yeah. And I was what's the point of bragging about 12-5? I'm assuming there's context behind this, though, right? So I'm assuming if he's saying that you're bragging about something, is this a conversation that you guys are referencing, or are you talking about my team went 12-5? We're talking about us, y'all being NFC, not NFC,
NFC East champ,
like, you know what I mean? I think pretty much that deals with the ability to kind of, I guess, small goals. Small goals is to win your division, you know, and no matter what, winning your division, most people are in hopes that will lead to the experience necessary that when you do get to a division round or possibly an NFC championship game, you won against good opponents to be able to, you know, overcome the Green Bay Packers or something like that. And so, I mean, there's pretty much all 29 teams at the end of the year can say the same thing. My guy, what's his name?
Philadelphia. Like, well, all 30 teams. Yeah. Because 32 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all 30. Yeah,
all 31 teams, right? Basically, because you the prime example. Like, are you going around saying, well, at least you've been to the Super Bowl? Like, I never really put you on the spot like that, do you? Because I hear a lot of Eagles fans that say, well, at least we made it to the Super Bowl in 2017, right? So you absolutely been in the same predicament as us, but y'all haven't won it, though, right? It's been since 94, right? So literally an Eagle fan could come to you and say, well, at least our Super Bowl trophy don't have dust on it, right? So not to beat him up, but talk to me and talk to the other people around the world that it's been since 1994. Y'all been in a long drought, longer than Shaq feet. You take a sip on it. So talk to me, man. Like, what can you say as a fan? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you pissed off. I'm pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is where fandom changes. So I have lately in my fan circle, I've been catching a little hell because I'm not the one to be satisfied with all these guys. Like, well, we made it to the Super Bowl, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, bro, man, listen here. We had most of the same characters go out here and perform in the Super Bowl, and the same situation has happened. And at some point, we changed 3 different defensive coordinators have made it to the Super Bowl. But the same offensive coordinator had been there, and Kyle Shanahan coaching this team. Now, me critiquing this guy doesn't mean I'm saying firing him, but I am saying, dude, when are we going to truly evaluate what happens in these tight situations that this guy doesn't necessarily get over the hump? Now, I can sit here and be like, oh my goodness, we did good, you know, what did he do? But at the end of the day, you cannot. The thing about bragging about 12-5 is that we have to be honest. Not every team have an opportunity to actually win a Super Bowl. Like, you have to have talent. There's some teams like the Carolina Panthers, like, bro, we know good and God doggone well there's absolutely no chance in hell that they would want to be able to win the Super Bowl, right? We know this. And so the bragging, I think, or the excitement may come from we have the opportunity and the possibility to even have a thought like, you know what, we might can get there. You know what I'm saying? Because we know other teams don't have no chance, and you know what? You know what I mean? So
Right, right,
that's
right.
how I kind of look at it. And so that's where I do get mad, because when we were just talking about earlier, you talking about finances, you talking about the salary cap, you talking about all this money, people are playing good, you make good draft picks, you got to take care of them, got to pay them. There's windows,
Right.
windows of opportunity where you do have the talent that you can say, this talent makes me make five team, this team make me, you know what I'm saying, and I could win. But if I don't even have the talent with me being able to pay certain players, I have no chance. You know what I'm saying? And so it's such a difficult situation, but I do believe it's your ideology when it comes to how do you feel about your team. Are you a guy that wants to win Super Bowls, or again,
Yeah,
are you satisfied
it
with
could it
winning
could be
on
just like fandom could be just like almost like college football. Like, of course Michigan won it this year, but think about all of the
Mhm,
colleges teams out there. Think about the years that Alabama was winning, right? Think about the years that
mhm.
Clemson had their run or what have you. And but college fandom don't just go away. You know what I'm saying? I still root for my Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? But I was extremely happy. You know what I'm saying, when prime time was there. But that doesn't mean that I'm on all of a sudden since he left we won, and then he left, that I just lose my fandom because he gone
Mhm.
somewhere else. Right? I'm still gonna root for my JSU. And then I'll look at my schedule and I say, okay, as long as, you know what I'm saying, we beat Alcorn, you know what I'm saying, Southern,
Mhm.
maybe I put, Valley up there, but we've been beating Valley. We walk them boys all the time. But as long as we beat Alcorn, I'm okay, you know what I'm saying?
And
But I'm not
also
saying
I
that I
think,
want nothing better, you know what I'm saying, or less.
and also I believe there's a certain attachment that you do have as a fan when you are able to follow and have a understanding of the background of some of these players who you may have
Right.
drafted. You see them grow as a rookie, and then you see them become a 5-year player, and then you see, okay, this is what was needed for this team to finally win the championship. Was this guy able to play this way? You know what I'm saying? And we win, and so you feel a little bit different because you feel like you was a part of that victory because you saw the metamorphosis of your team. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another thing that fandom does play a
Yeah,
role in. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Think about this, man. I was rolling with JSU before Prime got there, right? You know what I'm saying? So think about all of the people that jumped on only because Prime was there, right? And then when Prime
Yeah.
left, they kind of like stopped and died down. They stopped wearing their JSU stuff. And that's how I look at a few Cowboy fans. A lot of Cowboy fans will only roll with us with because I know you're a Niner guy. But when a lot of Cowboy fans will only roll when we are winning, right? We get to the
Yeah.
playoff, we lose, then they kind of hide, or they say, "Oh man, f them boys," you know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
okay to be angry and upset, but it felt even better for me to know that I roll with something and I support something. I give back to the chapters or what have you. And now all of a sudden we absolutely win. That's an extreme extra high for me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you,
Yeah.
Antron. Appreciate you. So Sonny
Yeah.
Boom, yes indeed. So you get what I'm saying though? You
Yeah.
know?
It's like those that were with me in the valley, you know what I'm saying, have a different appreciation when they see me on top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand the climb, you know what I mean? And so they didn't just get dropped off on the tip of the mountain with a helicopter, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so they saw the time when I was slipping, or when I didn't necessarily, I was looking tired climbing up that mountain. And so those are the things that I think people don't necessarily think about and talk about when it comes to watching your team progressively get better. And that's the thing about, I guess someone would say about, your quarterback situation with all that money. I've seen this guy on this mountain. I've
Yeah.
seen him climb and have certain heights and reach certain accolades. Have I seen what I wanted to see at this part of the mountain where I'm willing to come back and say, here you go, and let's see where else can we go up here? Is there more room? Have I
Right.
touched the ceiling? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this a ceiling, or do I have another? You know what I'm saying? Another level to go to. Now, if there's not another level to go to, is him being here enough when I have to worry about the other, or when I see the other people coming? and where it is that where their ceiling can go. Where, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And
right,
that's a
right.
true question you have to ask yourself. Like, is it enough? Because
Is
if
it
it's
enough?
not, you know what I'm saying, as you hear, the other guys can go here. No matter how
Right.
much money they have, they tapped out, and they, you know what I'm saying. And so
Yeah.
that's the crazy stuff that we have to ask. Even with my team, with about, you know, with Brock, it's like, okay, we see what you did. How much more room can you grow? I mean, this is only your second year playing, and you did this. Now, was
Right.
that your ceiling?
Right.
Or do you have more to go? Because we saw in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl, there's, and when I mean more, we talk about decimal points, people. We're not talking about like this grandioso, you know what I'm saying, scale. It's just like that's what happens. It's that's the line between winning and losing in the National Football League. And so
It's
that's
a
why I
very
say,
thin line. I
yeah,
remember, you know, like you said earlier, like, you know, for damn sure the Panthers, right?
uh-huh.
You said that they would, you know, they weren't gonna go to the Super Bowl this year, right?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
But there was still people in the stands. Like, there's probably a Law Nation of a Panther fan out there still rooting, supporting their team, although they pissed off. They're like, damn, man, could have got CJ. You know what I'm saying? But they probably sitting there like, all right, well, we got this quarterback now. How can we put weapons around him, right? How maybe they go try to say, okay, we made a mistake. They go get Justin Fields. Things can happen and change just like that. But, you know, I get it. I remember this. You know, I'm going to play this video. And you know, you remember me laid out on the floor. You know what I'm saying? When this all was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you had a point guard passing you the ball,
You remember
with
that
seconds to
dude?
go on the clock, and
Keyshawn
you trying to
Johnson,
shoot, how did you all off? That's how it was for me with quarterback. Best one I ever had was Vinny Testaverde by far. And when I got Vinny was 1,000 years old when I got him. Vinny might have been 37 at the time that I got him. Then I got him a second time in Dallas. Motherfucker had to be 40 something. I never started a season with the same quarterback and ended with that dude except 1 year. Even when I had Brad those 2 years, Brad wasn't there consistently. He was in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
people that I would trade my career for. Two. Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin. And I had Sean King and Brad Johnson, Rob Johnson and Brad Johnson, Quincy Carter with Dallas. So, you know, I had them. I got to Dallas. I started with Quincy Carter. Then they bring me Vinny. Vinny, you know, he looked like you. He got gray beards and shit. So
Old as shit.
old as hell, but he was still good. Then I had Drew Henson. Then I had Drew Bledsoe. Then I leave there. I go to Carolina. In 1 year, I played with 4 different quarterbacks in Carolina. In 1 year.
Hey, now, bro, you remember me? I was sitting there still like, hey, man, if we go see this game, I still just want to see the game. Drew Henson. He didn't go through all of Anthony Wright, man. Shout out to him. Quincy Carter, man. Hey, man, hey. Tell the people, man, I was still the same law, man. I was still.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those are dog days, man. And that's when, again, like you say, having a franchise quarterback is definitely important. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like you knew that you had to have the quarterback, and then again the team. Like, there's certain feelings you get with a team that you know is like, man, I know, man. Like, my guys are my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
And I say that with people, even when I looked at, you know, other teams this year when I played against them. And again, that's why sometimes I was telling you about Boss Cowboy the time I was on his show that one time. I was like, bro, I don't mind you rooting for your team, but at the same time, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, let's be objective in evaluating rosters, because we, at the end of the day, we know that is extremely important when it comes to, can this team win the Super Bowl, or do you have a quarterback that can do a LeBron James and go for 50, 11 to 13? You see what I'm saying? Or go for a Giannis who has, 48, 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the stuff that you got to have on your squad to be able to win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
right. I remember you guys having Jeff Garcia, right? And then I think you had Tim was Tim, what's his name? Rattay, man, and then you were still having your same passion. So that's why I know, like, hey, my brother, he for sure a 49er fan.
We had ugly years though. Like, we had.
But no, one year, y'all lost, and I was sitting there like, it was like a field goal and y'all lost because of some type of snap, some shit happened, and it was versus the Green. It was not versus Green Bay. It was versus the Giants that took you, and they went off to it was Giants versus the Ravens Super Bowl. What year that was? You remember?
Oh, that was
Yep.
2000.
Y'all lost to the Giants in that NFC Championship
That's
game.
2000. Remember? That's
Who was your
2000.
quarterback? Who was your quarterback then? Who was it? Was it Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff was from 2000 2003. He was the last Pro Bowler we had. Jeff was, and did you know that he scored? He was the last 4,000-yard quarterback we had too, like passer. That's how long we was in quarterback purgatory when it comes to just like a passer of the football.
Right,
You're
right.
looking at dog near almost 20 years, man, before we had another 4,000-yard passer.
Damn, 20 years. Man, that's a long time, bro. People fail to
Oh,
realize.
for real,
Look,
like,
look,
People
look,
don't
look.
understand that.
Yeah.
Guys, check this out again. It's been since 2003, I believe, that
Yeah.
we had a quarterback that threw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah,
and-
I know.
And that's crazy, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times that is a hard position, but at the same time it shows you when you do have that guy, man, he always gives you an opportunity to be
Yeah.
a winner, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what we have to look at far as when we pay these guys the money. We know that we have to because of the market, you know what I'm saying? But then sometimes
Yeah.
people don't understand this about back in the day. Bill Walsh, even with Joe Montana in several Super Bowls, y'all know that he was still drafting quarterbacks every year. Y'all know that he was still drafting and trading for quarterbacks and Steve Young, even after having a Super Bowl winner, a 3-time Super Bowl winner in Joe Montana.
Man.
Bill Walsh said, I cannot be satisfied. I always got to be trying to find the next and the better thing.
Yeah,
He said,
yeah.
it's better for me to trade my guy a year early than a year too late. Now, that's
Yeah.
the Steve Walsh who's known to be one of the greatest head coaches there is. And so a lot of times people don't understand that you got to get your feelings out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if, again, guys, if Bill Walsh was willing to move out of Joe Montana,
Montana.
he won rings. He had. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
he won. Sometimes you got to ask your question. If I take this $60 million,
Right.
can I win, or can I take 40 million of it and really try to fortify some of these holes that we do have? You know what I mean?
But that's what your guy, that's what your owner said. I think Eddie DeBarlo or something like that. He had a meeting with Jerry Jones where they was talking, and he was saying the number one rule is don't become friends with the players. And that is the number one rule. And I think that, you know, the whole thing, and I know people gonna hit me with the butter knife. And when I say this, I think the biggest mistake was for the Cowboys is for them to franchise tag Dak Prescott and never allow him to see the open market. And that leaves this value unknown out there because everybody would say he's not worth 30 to 35 million. I'm talking about the first time. He ended up getting 40 APY, but there was the Colts were willing to give up a first and a second plus play the contract, right? So when you do that, when you paint yourself into a corner and say, okay, let me see what you know can do if we franchise tag you, and this be the most money you ever have. Not all money is good money because now it appears that trust is gone, right? When you lose trust, it's one of those things whereas you can't, it takes thousands of years to get it back. So when that ultimate trust is not there, and when they finally signed him, he put in the contract, his agency put in the contract, no trade clause, no franchise tag. So now you're in this spot right here, whereas the Cowboys, because I'm team Cowboys, I'm not team quarterback, or I'm not team running back, or I'm not team wide receiver, I'm team Cowboys. So now you paint.
You can't say that a lot of times because
Yeah.
hey, God dog it.
Yeah.
Look, some of these guys,
Yeah.
watch this.
Talk to me.
Everybody out there, y'all tell me where Emmitt Smith retired.
Arizona. Yeah. Oh, but he came back to Cowboys, retired Cowboy. Yeah,
But I mean,
Yeah.
where his last couple of years, where was he running at though? He didn't run for Dallas that last year. He just retired there.
Right, right,
The
right.
last time he was actually running.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
ball.
yeah,
Who
yeah, yeah.
was it?
Arizona. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey guys, ask Jerry Rice.
Oh man, shoot. Hey, that joke was in Seattle. He was everywhere. Raiders everywhere, man.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like there are guys. Look, Joe Montana,
Yeah,
Kansas
City. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tom Brady. He went
Yeah.
over there to
We retired him. Cowboys retired Tom Brady. That's how good. That's how good we are.
Wait, bro. I'm talking about champions though.
Yeah, yeah, champions. Yeah, yeah. Mount Olympus champion. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bro, I'm talking about multi winners. And people had to move off them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's was when they were winning. So what I'm saying is it's not easy to go out there and get a quarterback. I know that. It's not easy to go out here and do that. But you have to be realistic. It's like, bro, man, all right, I seen you do it. God, dog, if I stay with you committed for this long, do I truly think you can get this thing done? You know what I'm saying? And so,
Right.
man, that's just the hard decisions that a lot of times people got to make, man. And even again, like this Brock Purdy situation, are we willing to give Brock Purdy $66 million in the next year and a half?
Well, in his second year starting, he was on the team that went to the Super Bowl.
So I mean, and then last year he went to the NFC Championship game.
NFC
He can sit there and
Championship
say,
game.
my numbers look just as good or probably better than a Dak Prescott first couple of years. He's like, dude, look at my numbers.
He could argue and say, well, hell, my numbers and what I was able to do, if you're going to put it from not a team deal to an individual situation, which if I'm his agent, I'm going to argue the same and say, hey, my numbers are up there with Joe Burrow's. Fight me. You know what I'm saying? What did he do that we didn't do? You know, if I'm his agent, and of course, because people fail to realize all of these players are one hit away from being a Ryan Shazier.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking when I say that. So, yeah, it's all about capitalization and getting their money. And what the billionaires done is they painted a picture and put a clove over everyone and said that these guys that making millions are selfish. While we are making billions, we are righteous. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will pick the side of the owner. Now, when I say I'm Team Cowboys, what I'm saying is collectively, I still want the player to ultimately get his bag, right? So that's why I've been anti-franchise tag type of stuff, although there is money up front. This is the most money that any of these guys will ever see because the money up front is equivalent to the check and go places, the check cash places, right? You never see a prominent area with those things because those places are long sharks. It absolutely cripples the team more so than it helps the team. So unless the only way the franchise tag works, in my opinion, I do kind of like the transitional tag where you put a tender on it or what have you, and you put a second round tender. And if anybody want to get that, then they have to get a second round for them or what have you. But the only way the franchise tag worked for me is you put a placeholder on there, right, while you negotiate the contract. But I don't like players playing under the franchise tag because it cripples the team more so than it helps the team, in my opinion.
I feel you on that. You know,
because it's a hard cap league, you know.
Yeah, everybody got to worry about that situation at the end. The hard cap coming, you got to go out there and answer to it. You know.
Yeah. And you can't spread it, like I said with the peanut butter. You can't spread it out. It's a one hit thing, and now you taking a big hit on your chin, and it cripples the team. Because I look at it like this: my Cowboys in 2019 going into 2020, bro, them people had $90 million in cap space.
That's a lot of money.
Man, dog. And they didn't know what to do with it. But, man, we can talk all day about this money, bro. Oh, my goodness, man. I know you probably got to split. I know you got to do some things early in the morning, man. But any departing words, anything, bro?
Man, you know, at the end of the day, man, this is going to be an interesting offseason, man. I think there's some teams that feel like they're close, but not yet there. Hard decisions have to be made. And for your team and my team, I told somebody today, there's been some players here that have been a staple for the 49ers, but if these guys get cut or moves or trade, you can only get mad at yourself, or not at yourself, but at the organization and the coaches for not taking care of business and winning when they had the opportunity, because eventually you missed your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but that's what happens. And so
How far away from the Super Bowl y'all was from winning it? 10 yards?
10 yards, man. You know what I'm
10
saying?
yards, man.
10 yards.
It would have changed the whole off-season talk. People would have been saying, like, this is the model. This is how you need to build teams.
Hey, look, Steve Wolf's gone. He can't find a job now because everybody else was you know what I'm saying? All the other coaching position was gone since he was already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like again, like bro, even a coaching decision. So that's another thing. You can have all the players in the world, but then you have somebody like Mike Marks who might not throw the challenge flag or might not. You know, shit like. So yeah, man. Enjoy the off season, man, and yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow your boy Twin Empire _ at YouTube, man, and also at the X app as well, man. Thank you guys for being here with us on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Prepare yourselves for the spring as well. You know the weather is about to start changing, so I'll just tell everybody, man. I'll say this because I enjoy people and I love people, man. Start drinking your water, man, and start making sure you're taking your vitamins, and probably go through this clean as far as your lymphatic system, man, where y'all maybe want to go through a nice little fruits and vegetables situation so you can detox, man, because the weather's going to start changing. And y'all make sure y'all take care of yourselves, you know. So do what you need to do and meditate, man, and be grateful, man, because hey, your gratitude will determine your attitude, man. And so let's make sure we have the proper appreciation for life, man. And so, you know, that's my 2 cents on that.
No doubt, man. And once again, appreciate Prize Picks too. Salute to those guys over there at Prize Picks. I'm gonna have to jump in my NBA bag and start watching some NBA games so I can help you guys out with your Prize Picks there. You know.
Hey, look, Prize Pick, y'all better go with that boy Steph Curry, man, and Luka Doncic, because they go out here and get buckets. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, indeed, man.
And not only do that,
indeed.
man, y'all gotta make sure you visit Road Shop too. You know what I'm saying? You know, tell them about Road Shop too, man, before we get up out of here.
No doubt, man. Roadshop.com, and there where you can go for all your CBD needs as well as your THCs. They have your Delta 9s and Delta 8s over there. They have a correspondent crew that you can reach out to if you need any Q&A sessions there. They can help you out along your way, especially if you're handling or dealing with anxieties, depressions, things like that. Go talk to them and they can help guide you into the right directions. Also with Rogue Shop, they ship to all 50 states, so be sure to be at least 21 years or older, and that way you can get your supplements that's needed. Also, they have vitamin D3s, as I showed up earlier, and also B12. All of those things are essential and necessary. And they got them fish oil pills too, man. You know, keep everything smooth over there for your skin, your face, and a whole bunch of other stuff, man. CBD is good for the
zinc. Get some zinc too,
get some
man,
zinc
for all the
stuff
men
too,
out there.
man.
Zinc.
Yeah, yes,
You know what I'm saying?
indeed,
Get zinc.
man. Yes, indeed, man. This episode was killer. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, Eric Willis. Appreciate you, dog. Shout out to you, Philadelphia, Karma. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate you, Asmodeus. Appreciate y'all. If y'all could do us a huge favor, hit that like, share this content, subscribe. Let's continue to grind and shine. Shout out to you, Memphis. Appreciate everybody that's on the IG. Simply appreciate you. Just giving a shout out to everybody. Parker, Mr. Free. Thank all of y'all, man, for tuning in and being part of these type of episodes. It's literally, I'm gonna have to change this episode to the Bearded Brothers podcast times the late night hype, bro. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We still got late night hype merch out there, man. So y'all be sure to buy that up. It's in the stores. Come on, baby. Shout out to you, Italian cowboy. I see you. Styling and profiling, buck wilding. Come on with it, man. Come on, one fish, two fish, blue fish. My album coming out, baby. Late March, early April. Y'all better watch out. Come on, Aaron. Come on.
And look, your boy Twin birthday coming up, so y'all make sure you
Yes,
get ready for
indeed. March the 6th. He in the mix, man. Pisces in the house, huh?
your boy.
Tell you, man, the Aquarius is out here, man. We rocking the thing.
We just left y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Pisces are pretty good too, though. I like a good Pisces over there, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, we're the 13th sign of the 12 months.
Technically, it's 28 days in a month, and they're absolutely 13 months out of a year. But we ain't gonna talk too much, man. I don't want to outspeak my wisdom teeth.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you can look at the turtle shell. You know what I'm saying? The turtle shell gives you the perfect diameter of what it looked like back in the day. You know, the 28 days also represents the woman's cycle as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the big man upstairs knew what he was doing, man. He was putting his fingerprint even in creation to let you know how things are supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. Oh, man, the knowledge, man. They definitely gonna flag this video, bro. Yeah. They gonna flag it. Shame. Shout out to you. You got you a twin over here, bro. Yeah. Joe Gonzalez. Alita La Raza. Come on. Olale. Come on. Until next time. DC for life, not for short. Let's get it. Bam. Hey. Ho. Come on.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
We up out. Peace.